look at the communities where the that have the highest amount of after-school activities, so that way your kids don't get into trouble, because that's what my dad always says. He says, had Wilton not gone to his after-school activity, his life would be very different right now.
He would have been charged with running over some girls?
No, 3 of Will's friends were in the car when the crazy kid did that.
They were in the car that the crazy kid was driving?
Yes.
So your brother was friends with the crazy kid?
My brother was friends with the crazy kid's brother.
Ugh.
Yes. We're from a small town. Everyone's friends with everyone.
That's how small towns work.
I babysat the kid.
That's frightening.
Yes. We don't have to leave this all in. We can go.
Oh, no. We're keeping this in. Okay. Where were we? The rabbits. Lena, back to the story. Lena, the cat lover, begged her parents to allow her to keep a stray she had found in the cellar. As a cat lover, I have a sense this is going to break my heart. It appears the cat had been sneaking into the cellar through a hole in the screen, and one night the family was awakened because the cat was crying very loudly. Lena searched the home for the cat and was horrified to find 3 small sacks of deformed kittens lying on the staircase.
That's awful.
Several days later, the cat viciously attacked Ted Jr. while he was napping on the family couch. Most years, the family regrettably went petless, but they never felt exactly alone either. Always...
Hold on. What kid? The cat attacked one of the kids?
Yes.
Which one?
Ted Jr.
That's a serial killer.
He doesn't seem to have liked pets. He didn't have any.
Oh, yeah.
So you think Ted Jr.?
I think he's the ghost.
You think he's the ghost?
I think it's not a ghost. I think it's everything I am hearing about this leads me more to think serial killer than it does to think ghost. So
Okay.
far.
So far.
I keep interrupting, so we're not even close to done with the story.
I think we're like halfway through.
All right.
Most years, the family regrettably went petless, but they never felt exactly alone either. Always, the house seemed to harbor an unwelcome evil guest who watched their every move from somewhere out of this dimension. The kids all referred to this entity as the bad man who doesn't want us here. Even Rose agreed on this point, recalling, I found the cellar to be especially scary. I had to go down to the cellar on a daily basis because that was where our washer and dryer were kept, and I always felt watched by something down there. One unforgettable trait of the home was a door in the bathroom that led to nowhere. That's right, a door in the bathroom that leads to nowhere.
Back to my other story. The house that had the barn that got burned down, they had a door that led to nowhere.
Really?
Yes.
It just like opened up onto a wall?
Just opened up into air. It was on the second floor of the house. Yeah.
What?
I know. I don't know.
So you live in you grew up in a small town that was fairly well-to-do.
Correct.
And so that makes me very suspicious. Why didn't the building inspector come by and be like, hey, that door, like, you got to, like, board that door up. You can't have a door just opening from the second floor that people are going to fall out and die. Or be injured.
I don't know. They were, the father was from Wales, which is how I knew Wales was a country. And I think that, they just like to be a little quirky.
Okay.
It's not like they didn't have money to board it up. They rebuilt it like another $1 million barn. The kid burned it down.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on.
Doors to nowhere. One unforgettable trait of this home was a door in the bathroom that led to nowhere. The tapping and scratching sounds that emanated from behind this door frightened the family. One day, Theodore chiseled away the coats of paint, pried it open, and found a closet-sized opening with a depth of only about 3 inches. 3 inches. For some unknown reason, a workable door was built inside this bathroom, but seemed to serve no purpose at all. No explanation was ever found for the creepy sounds that continued to be heard behind this door. The most unsettling... and we haven't apparently even gotten to the most unsettling feature of this home yet. Which you seem to think is Ted Jr.
Yes.
Killing all the small
Correct.
animals.
I do.
Okay. The most unsettling feature of this home was the notorious shadowy night visitor. Rachel, Lena, Dee, and Lisa have all suffered the same inexplicable terror of lying in bed and feeling the presence of the spectral intruder. Each encounter starts out the same way as you hear the heavy footsteps of a booted man walking toward your room. Immediately, your body freezes in place as you are trapped in a state of shock. Using every ounce of strength you have, you manage to close your eyes in terror as the heavy footsteps draw closer and stop at the foot of your bed. Somehow, even though your eyes are closed, you are enveloped with the ghost's presence and you sense what he looks like. All 4 of the girls have described this entity as a tall, scruffy-looking old-time soldier dressed in a dark, old-fashioned suit with large, heavy boots. I feel like we keep going back to that first interview with Barry where we talked about these
sleep paralysis.
Yeah. So maybe all 3 of the girls are having sleep paralysis, or 4 of the girls are having sleep paralysis, and I don't know. Why they'd all be describing the exact same figure is interesting.
What's the word I'm looking?
Take your time. Editing's a thing.
Group hysteria.
Oh, group hysteria.
Group hysteria, it's a thing.
All right.
So if like one's like, oh, I saw this thing, and the other's like, oh yeah, me too, and then they all start thinking they're seeing it.
Okay.
When really their brother's a serial killer? Yeah.
Well, but I do, because I've had that happen to me too, and even though I never opened my eyes, like I knew exactly what that presence in my bedroom looked like. So I could go either way on this particular part. All right. One evening, Rose went up to bed early because she had a headache. She explains, as I climbed the stairway, I saw a shadowy figure at the top of the staircase. He was only visible for a second before vanishing before my eyes, but I will never forget his face. He had scraggly hair and a full beard and mustache, and reeked of a foul, musty smell. But his eeriest feature of all were his hollow eyes. Needless to say, I let out a blood-curdling scream and practically flew back down the staircase to find my husband asleep in front of the television. You can only imagine the shock this family experienced when years later Theodore uncovered an antique chest that was hidden behind a brick wall in the cellar. Inside the chest was a box containing several letters and photos dating back to the Civil War. It appears that an individual soldier wrote all of the letters, and some of the letters were very poetic and romantic, while others were quite demanding and abusive.
Isn't that how it always is?
No.
It's always both.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
My husband doesn't write letters, but he's...
That's what I mean.
Well, he does his best to be romantic, but he's never demanding or abusive. He sends me little text messages that are like, hi.
No, if you've ever had an over-the-top romantic man, you know.
I think that Sean's perfectly over-the-top romantic.
Okay.
Some of the letters were very poetic and romantic, while others were quite demanding and abusive. The Beauchamp family shuddered in horror when this very familiar-looking picture was also pulled out of the concealed box.
Ooh, spooky.
Would you like to describe that picture?
For whatever reason, they blacked out the eyes. That's the first thing I see. It is a tall, medium-built man. He's got a nice-looking beard on him and really high boots. He has knee-high boots. And a big coat and a button-down shirt. And it looks like he's writing one of his love letters.
It does look like he's writing one of those love letters. And he appears to be sitting on like a rocky...
He's on a hill.
But it's definitely old-timey. It's definitely like Civil War-y.
Yes.
You're a photography person. Did they have this kind of photography for Civil War stuff?
They did, but it would have been very expensive. Yeah, the first photos came out of Civil War.
Then it seems unusual that this random guy would have a picture of himself like that.
He would have had to sit still for quite some time to get that.
Maybe they just took it while he was writing his entire abusive and demanding letter.
Well, he looked off to the side.
What did you call that?
What?
The male gaze.
Yeah.
Or maybe because we can't see his eyes because they're blacked out, maybe he's actually looking directly at
oh my gosh.
the camera.
You crack me up. The male gaze. Look it up. Educate yourselves on art history.
So anyway, this was in the Woodlawn section of Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Nice.
But it doesn't give an actual address, which is fair enough, because I'm sure that the people that live there are not interested in people coming over and being like, hi, we want to see if the Civil War ghost is here in your house. Also, do you have a serial killer killing your pets?
I would think both of those would be a selling point. People love haunted houses.
We have very different ideas about what makes desirable real estate.
I'm not saying I would want to buy one. I'm saying it is a selling point. People want to buy haunted houses all the time. Say your house is haunted, worth $1 million.
What?
Yes. Yes. It's a nice house.
Well,
and that sounds like
I do want to say that someone in my family, possibly my direct maternal relative, definitely owns a house that has a spirit in it. So maybe when she goes to sell that house, we'll put it in the listing and see what happens.
There you go.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
And we were the ones that found it.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. Onward and upward.
My story next is of a very famous Rhode Island landmark, and that is the Biltmore Hotel.
Excellent.
Yes. The Biltmore Hotel of Providence, Rhode Island has existed since 1922. It has been featured in multiple movies and has given inspiration to Stephen King and Robert Bloch for terrifying fictional accommodations such as the Overlook Hotel and the Bates Motel. Did you ever see the new TV show, Bates Motel?
I did not. I've seen Psycho.
Yeah, I've seen Psycho, but I really liked the Bates Motel, and then it kind of started getting a little weird, and then I stopped watching it. I think it's still on TV, though. First 2 seasons are great.
Okay.
Check it out. Okay.
Sean and I are always looking for something new to binge watch.
Yeah, go binge watch Bates Motel.
Okay.
Okay. In 1918, Johann Lassie Weisenkopf, famously known to be an open Satanist. Now, keep in mind that in 1918, an open Satanist.
Now, can you please clarify the difference between an open Satanist and a closed Satanist?
Yes, that is people know about it versus people don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he made the decision to finance the construction of the Biltmore Hotel. It was public knowledge that the building's purpose was to educate the New England community about Satanism. Why? I don't know. I hear, like, this story is so wild to me because in New England right now, up in Salem, we have the world headquarters of the Satanic Church is in Salem right now. And it was like a huge deal when they moved in there.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be.
This was 3 years ago it moved in there.
I don't know too much about, in fact, I don't really know anything about Satanism. So I don't really know why people would need to be educated in it.
Because
I don't know anything
about it.
But why people would want to be educated in it. I mean, if you were raised in any sort of a Christian upbringing,
yeah,
you kind of got the basic rundown on Satan and Satanism.
Well, I mean, I was raised Christian, and I have a lot of knowledge about Wiccan, which is very different than Satanism, but a lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
And I didn't know that until I educated myself.
Okay.
Maybe people are just interested.
All right.
But I will, as I move on, we will find out the real reason.
Okay.
Okay, so back in the story, the hotel was even designed with religious considerations. Now, these aren't what we think of as religious considerations, Beth. These are satanic religious considerations.
Fair enough.
So it includes a chicken coop on the roof to supply plentiful sacrifices for weekly rituals, underground altars, including dug-out springs used in cleansing rituals, and the famous, I don't know how to say this, Bashanti? I think it's Bashanti. Dining room, which was home to a staff of nude waitresses, affectionately known as the Bashanetti Girls. Risque! That is risky. Risky business.
I mean, now, like, the Hooters girls all have to have, like, mini shorts and, like, half a shirt on at least, right?
In Massachusetts, you have a full shirt.
You gotta have a full shirt.
You have a full t-shirt.
Oh. I clearly have not been in a Hooters. But
I've never been in Hooters, but I know my health codes. Okay, so mob affiliations guaranteed that some terrible events occurred at the Biltmore Hotel. It was a well-known and extremely popular speakeasy at the time. Because of what happened with the mob, mixed with satanic rituals, many believe that there are a lot of trapped spirits in the walls of the Biltmore. During those days, the hotel attracted many high-powered men and law and government officials to its underground concealed bar. During this time, multiple murders saw at least 6 police implicated in the crimes. Further murders, including the drowning of an 11-year-old prostitute. Awful. So awful.
There were so many sad things